So, if you guys haven't heard yet, Nintendo has announced its NX, which will now be known as the Nintendo Switch. Today, they posted a trailer for the console showing off the features and a few games. So, first, let's talk about the system itself. A lot of people speculated that this was going to be a home console slash portal console hybrid, and it looks like those people were right because that's exactly what it is. So, the main console actually sits on your TV stand. And it's basically a dock, and this dock will hold what is pretty much just a mini screen inside of it, and that seems to be where the main contents of this device are. This screen can be taken out of the device and functions as its own portable device, which is similar to the Wii U's gamepad. On the sides of the screen can be found two controllers, and if you take those off the screen, you can either have them function as a cohesive device when they're attached to the screen, or when they're split apart, you can either use them individually, say if you're using like a split screen game, or they can be used similar to the nunchuck controllers from the Wii, although I don't think they have any motion to them because that was never shown. Now that's the main bulk of what the device is. They also showed off a controller similar to the Wii U's Pro Controller, and they showed that this device is going to have wireless of some kind. I'd assume it's probably going to be similar to the 3DS's wireless. They showed people connecting when they're sitting side by side with the device. So I'm assuming it's going to be similar to the 3DS's. And they also showed that the device will apparently have cartridges instead of discs, because they showed somebody putting a cartridge into the back of the game, and it looks similar to a 3DS cartridge. So that's what they're going to be using instead of discs, I assume. Next is the games, and for the majority, I personally didn't find them all that interesting. The first game that they actually showed was Legend of Zelda Breath of Wind, which of course looked awesome, but we already knew about that game, so I wasn't overly impressed with that. Next off was Skyrim, which was a huge surprise to me personally, and it looks really good on the system. I assume this is going to be the special edition, which is also coming to the Xbox One and PS4 in a week's time. So that's really cool. Next was Mario Kart, and at a first glance, I assumed it was going to be Mario Kart 8, but the characters that they showed in it, one of them was King Boo, and to my knowledge, he was not in Mario Kart 8, so I'm assuming this is going to be Mario Kart 9, or maybe an expansion of Mario Kart 8 Special Edition or something like that. But yeah, they showed that one off, and then the next one was an NBA game. I don't really care about that, but it was there. And then they had some kind of Mario game. I don't know if this was a new game, or maybe it was Super Mario 3D Land. I've never played Super Mario 3D Land, so... but they showed that off, and it was some kind of platforming Mario game, and the final one that they showed off was Splatoon. So that was pretty much all that I got out of the trailer. They're clearly having the emphasis being on both the mobility of the device as well as connecting with other people. But personally, however, I just have to say that I wasn't really overly impressed. Number one, I don't think this is the way you should introduce a new console. I would have 100% rather had some kind of Nintendo Direct or some kind of press conference or something like that, because we got a lot of information out of this, but it wasn't precise. There's still so much that I don't know about this console, and it's coming out relatively soon. So I would have liked some kind of direct or something like that. And the games that they showed off, while they were interesting, they were for the most part unimpressive, because I don't know anything about the majority of them. They could have been some kind of Wii U, like backwards compatibility thing. I just don't know. So a lot of information that I just don't have about this console. On top of that, I can't see this device being overly powerful, especially when stacking up something like the PS4 or the Xbox One, and that's not even to mention the PS4 Neo or Project Scorpio, because this is going to be a portable device, and portable devices just aren't as powerful as home consoles, so I fear this is going to leave Nintendo in the dust again, because they're not going to be able to work with... They've said they're going to have more third-party support on this console, and I'm not calling them a liar or anything like that. I'm sure they will, but it'll be hard for developers to have that kind of... Unless Nintendo figured something out, and they didn't release the specs on this, so I can't really say that they're going to be as powerful. You would think they would have released the specs, but like I said, they didn't release the specs, so we can't really say how powerful this is going to be, but I can't imagine it's going to be that powerful being a portable device. But developers aren't going to be able to make something for the PS4 and the Xbox One that's going to work on this. And if they can't do that, then they'd have to dedicate its own version to it, and that's going to leave Nintendo in the dust again. People aren't going to be able to develop for it as easily, and that's why the third party wasn't very good on the Wii U, because it didn't have the same kind of functionality as the other two consoles. All that being said, again, we don't have the specs or anything like that, so I can't justify any of my claims that much, but, you know, that's just what I think about the console. So far, with just the trailer, I'm not overly impressed. Hopefully, they're going to have some kind of direct. I didn't see anything about one, but you would think they would go into more detail about this, maybe in the future a little bit. But Anyways, yeah, I don't know. You guys can tell me what you guys think about this. They did announce that, well, we already knew this, but they announced at the end of the trailer that it's coming out March 2017, which we already knew, but, you know, it's just a reconfirmation. So, yeah, let me know what you guys thought about this in the comments below if you watched the trailer. If not, just let me know what you thought about my comments. And, yeah, hopefully I see you guys in the next video, and I hope you enjoyed this.